Hello everyone, this is Express Collector. I know I haven't done a video like this in a while, but it is a very important day. Because today, we got a lot of stuff to get into. As I'm sure you can see, I've got some of the brand new Thomas motorized, Thomas & Friends Classic, or at least that's what they're calling them, engines. I was only able to get 4 of them. They didn't have Nia, they didn't have Percy, and they didn't have the 2-packs where I went to go get them, but that's fine. So we'll start out, let's start with Thomas. So here is our classic Thomas. He's got 2 troublesome trucks that actually look pretty good. I haven't done one of these reviews in a while, so I mean, there's Thomas, you can see the face. Got some nice rivet detail. There's absolutely nothing on the back of the box other than words, so let's go ahead and open them if I can remember how. Give me a minute. Alrighty, so this box opening might be the worst of the 4 you'll see me do today. So we'll start with this tape. There's some tape down here that I believe is what you have to cut through. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, that's it. And the engine comes out, as well as the instructions. So let's look at the instructions before we do anything else, because these are pretty brand spanking new. And they look like this. Yeah, no. Anyways, now we gotta get Thomas out of this little box. So I'm just gonna peel away at this cardboard here. There we go. I think. Here we are. And here we have Thomas and his 2 trucks. Now this is interesting because separate the trucks from Thomas. He himself looks quite nice. He's facing one way. The windows look great. The whistles are molded. There's rivet detail that actually you can feel it. The rivet detail you can feel. Those traction rods look quite nice as well. It's still the AEG chassis, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I understand you're working with constraints. This actually feels really cool in my hand. Like, it's pretty nice. Yeah, so let's see let's put him down. He comes with these 2 trucks. And they actually have different faces. And different details. They look a little, I think they're meant to look a little rusted out. They have these boxes, which have this little circle thing. I think that's, don't remember. I feel like that's from an old TRACKMASTer set, but I can't remember which one at the moment. Cannot tell if the faces are removable. But these are some nice little trucks. So I'm going to put those there. And we're going to see if we can put a battery in Thomas. So you need a Phillips head into the black chassis frame. Now we grab some batteries. Now these run on AAAs, not AA's as many of us are used to with our Tomy trains. I know I can't remember the last time I've used AAA's actually. That runs really quietly. I want to see what this looks like with the, what do you call it? With the body shell on. Because I feel like this is going to be really cool. I will say the scaling is a little odd for me. But that looks pretty cool, guys. That looks pretty cool. It isn't freewheel, but it looks pretty dang good if you ask me. So that's Thomas. We're gonna move him out of the way. Let's look at James next. Now this is what James looks like. He's got a tanker. The tender, I actually really like this print on the tender. And then James. Now, I know what everyone's saying. He looks too fat. Looks too wide. But, I don't know. I don't really mind. Kind of takes me back to the old Tommy Trains days. Which, for those of you who don't know, I do own the original Tommy Trains Thomas. So, the scaling is pretty close to that. I'm actually tempted to do a comparison, and I might do that in a future video. But for now, we're opening James. Oh yeah, James. James is tender that actually has removable coal. And this coal is different from the from that old talking James and Gordon. Then we got a tanker. Let's start with the tanker, because this is going to be really quick. It looks really nice, actually. Like, there's no print on this, so you can imply this is like milk, or maybe paint, or maybe cement. I don't know, whatever you want to imply in there. But considering the scale, like, let's grab one of these troublesome trucks for a comparison. Considering the scale, it's a pretty dang good tanker. Put that off to the side. And here's James. Here's James. I will say, this is my one issue with the tender engines. The faces are massive. It looks like those snacks. I forget which ones they're called or what they're called. But there used to be these snacks that had like these little cylindrical snacks that had their faces at the end. I don't remember what it was called, but it looks like that. The pony truck is here, which is a nice detail. The thing is, with this scale, you can actually do little things like that, which is great. He's got the rivet detail. He looks really darn nice, guys. Like, the shape, considering the scaling, considering what they're working with, the shape isn't half bad. Then you got a little homage to the Bachman James here. If you know, you know. And then he's got rivet details, the handrail. The dome looks pretty good. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't scout these, so I can't really say too much about them. But this one, I think this one looks better in person than if you look at the pictures. The tender, again, I don't like this size of tender, but for what it is, like, pretty good tender. And you can actually remove the coal, which is nice. Now, I don't know if this is compatible with the rattle and shake coal hopper. It looks like it might be a little too big, but it might be compatible with Tommy trucks, which we'll figure out in another video. And I like this because you can actually pretend, oh no, he's out of coal. Wait, he's got coal. So, let's fit James with batteries now. Sorry about that. And here we have him. Here is James's body shell. AAA batteries. He is a little clickier than Thomas, but he still runs quite smoothly. So I'm going to put his body shell back on, because we still got a couple more to review. There it is, and then we're going to screw him shut. If you bought these and you're at home wondering, how do I open it? It's the Phillips head hole, not any of these triangular ones. It's always the Phillips head screwdriver. So there's James. He looks nice. I'm going to put him over here next to Thomas, off to the side. Next up, we're going to look at the big blue boy himself, known as Gordon. Now, this one's called Classic Gordon. Comes with an express coach, which is tempting. And why do I say that he's tempting? Well, because I bought two of them. So, now with Gordon, he's also been critiqued for the running board, which is tiny, but I'll assess that once I get him out of the box. So let's do just that. Let's get him out of the box. Grab my little blade here. Cut through some of this tape. There we go. I'm gonna be honest, these boxes are not really worth keeping, I think. I mean, if you want to keep it, go for it. I mean, this is actually adorable, but it's not like the old boxes where there's actually details, so yeah. Now we get him out of here. Come on, Gordon. Come on. Time to touch grass. Yeah, get out. Imagine touching grass. For some reason, he's refusing to get out of the box. Yeah, I can't. If you've been a long-time viewer of this channel, you'll know I suck at opening the boxes. Alrighty, so here we have our Gordon with the Express Coach. Now this is Express Coach. This is, I've been told that this is the All Engines Go Annie and Clarabelle just repainted. And honestly, I don't have an issue with that. There's no beating the classic Tomy Express Coach, but for what this is, look at that. I'm not saying put your finger on the window and try to get it out the other side. But at the same time, I'm not saying to not do that. Because you can do that. I think it's nice. For what it is, this roof, a little dinged up on the plastic, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty shiny. I like it. I will say this is a nice coach. Go off to the side. Here is Gordon. Again, I'm not really a huge fan of these tiny tenders on these engines, but I like that we got a Gordon that doesn't have a big smiling face. He's thinking, or something like that. Or at least it looks like he's thinking, that's what I'm going to say. The running board being white and it cutting off, I don't really have an issue with. Now, he does look the chunkiest out of all of them. I would say with him, it's really hard to hide because he's mostly a cylinder and he doesn't have like a bigger firebox area. The trailing wheel and the pony truck, no, these are the cylinders and there is the wheel represented there. The way that they've done these side rods, I think, is absolute genius. Having this attached while at the same time making this look like it's connected. Because if you look at it at the right angle, like, I don't know if you see that, but it looks like it's all one fluid assembly. That's Gordon. The tender, thank you for having bright blue wheels. Removable coal. It's a tender. So, Gordon battery time. I had to sit down behind the camera this time, so I'm kind of guesstimating here at the same time as recording this. So there's the body shells. You can see the piston rods are attached separately. Put some batteries in him. And he's going to run rather smoothly. So, I'm going to put him off to the side because you're going to get to see these bad boys run in a little bit. It's just a matter of getting through all of them out of the box. So we're going to close up Gordon and move him off to the side because we've got one of these trains left. And that is arguably the most anticipated release of the year, classic Flying Scotsman. Now, I do have some issues with this model that we'll go into in a moment, but this classic Flying Scotsman, he's got that classic Flying Scotsman face. And yeah, let's get him open. I have my issues with this model that I'll go into right now because I feel like there are some things that could have been done better. But then again, that is just my opinion. Get out of there. Box. Let's see if opening them off screen actually helps. And shocker, it does. Excuse me, knock over my camera. So here we have Flying Scotsman. And the camera's a little too high. There we go. Flying Scotsman, his coal tender, and his water tender. Now, this is my issue with Flying Scotsman. These. First of all, this one. Okay, I'm not losing my mind. It felt loose, but it's not. There are the tenders. They're too short. They're just simply too short. I know, because this is Dutch's tender, and that's the original Flying Scotsman tender from 10 years ago. I will say, I like the color. I don't dislike these, I just like them more with a classic Tomy engine. I'm gonna put these on my custom Scotsman, honestly. Tenders are nice. They are tenders. And here's our locomotive, which I will say he is one of the most well-detailed of this batch. Like, it just looks really good. And the thing is, they're not just reusing the Gordon mold. They actually, like, this is molded, the smoke deflectors are molded, the dome is different, the windows are different. Like, they made this mold uniquely for him. And I love that. I think that's great. And there's the face. Focus. Focus. Alright, we're going to put some batteries in them. And then after this, you'll get to see these bad boys run for a little bit. So there we have chassis and body shell. Put our batteries in. Yeah, I can tell this one's going to look great when he's running. So, speaking of running, don't run away from me. We've got all our engines right here. Let's give them a run. Alrighty everyone, so here we are now. This isn't the most glamorous layout I've ever made. It's just a couple of loops tied together. There's James. And let's see what good old Thomas looks like right there. He's looking at the camera. Thank you, Thomas. Let's hope this works, because I don't have enough gray track. Away you go, Thomas. Go. We'll be right back. Alrighty, Thomas, first run, take 2. Away we go. And away goes James. Push, there we go. We're gonna give each other a little push right here, I think. Yep. Note to the viewer and also to myself, don't build a layout with too many points if you're using these guys on grade track. Because you're going to have to do a lot of this. It's because of the activation tab on the bottom of these models. Come on, Thomas, just a little more, a little more. There you go. So they're coming around. A little bump. A little bump. There we go. I will say, these run pretty well on this track. If I had more brown track, I'd run them on that. I mean, more gray track, but they're doing pretty well for themselves. Alrighty, we are back, and we have Scotsman and now Gordon powered up and ready to go. So, here we go. I'm gonna try. I can't do this with both. Alright, we're letting one of them go at a time. There's Scotsman. There's Gordon. I've reconfigured our layout a little bit here. It's 2 loops, and they both died. Alrighty, we're gonna try this again. Away you go, Scotsman. Make sure he stays on the line before I do anything. Okay, he's good. And away goes Gordon. Little Gordon first. Handling it pretty swimmingly. I'm gonna go over here at Scotsman. Handling it pretty well himself. We have an aerial shot over the station. From the station you can see them here. Very nice. I will say that express coach that Gordon is hauling looks better in motion than it does standing still. And we'll look at Scotsman over here. Still not huge on the tenders. Can't shake it, but for some reason doesn't look half bad. And now Gordon died. Let's get him back on the rails. That story of Henry, 1953 style. There we go. And we've had another accident. In watching these trains run, the tender engines have a bit of an issue. They tend to be very top heavy. As you can see, Gordon just fell over again. So, my suggestion to you, if you're using brown track, make sure it's all nice and level. So now that it's all said and done, what do I think of these trains? This new line of TRACKMASTER 3, TRACKMASTER Thomas motorized engines. I know it's been said everywhere, but just go out and buy them. If you can find them, just buy it. Like, I got these at Walmart. They were $12.99 a piece. So, yeah. Go and buy them. They were pretty affordable. They're, compared to some of the things that we've gotten from TRACKMASTER, these are quality items. I mean, I think if I had to pick a favorite in terms of proportions, it's definitely Thomas. In terms of looks and detail, it's probably Scotsman. The James and the Gordon aren't half bad either. I think they're nice. Gordon's traction rod design is done really nicely. These trucks that came with Thomas, these ones right here, really, I cannot wait to get a few more of these. These are actually really, really nice with the load and everything. And yeah, I will say, again, this is not a sponsored video. I bought these with my own money, and I think they're worth it. So if you can go out and get them, go out and get them. Again, thank you very much for watching. I know this video went on fairly long, but we're doing 4 engines here, so what am I expecting? Thank you all very, very much for watching. Hope you all take a minute to click like and subscribe down below, and click the notification bell for more videos like this one. Thank you all so very much for watching. This is Express Collector, signing off.